welcome back to my channel. I'm MartineFelton, and today I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading again, but this time the theme is a little different. It's going to be who is your inner goddess? Who are your inner goddesses? One of the decks that I'll be choosing from is the Divine Feminine Oracle, and that's by Megan Watterson. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Watterson or Watterson. The other goddess deck is the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. She is a very popular oracle card deck creator, so we all know who Colette Baron Reed is. So those are the decks, right? And in a moment, we'll be focusing on the 3 piles. We'll have a short meditation and get started. Pile number 1, which is the citrine crystal. Pile number 2, which is the green aventurine crystal. And then pile number 3, which is the rose quartz. So go ahead, get settled, get comfy, and relax. And I will start the meditation now. If you picked pile number 1 with the citrine crystal on top, this message is for you. So the two goddess cards that came out was this one. I believe her name is pronounced Ain, and it says adaptability. Then we have Queen Esther, the Morning Star, and the card says, my ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. And I really feel like both of these goddesses are similar in that she is all about adaptability, and Queen Esther is all about divine timing. And I really feel like the message for pile 1 here is looking at what you need to do or what you need to change, how you need to adapt. Let me move my chair closer. How you need to adapt to your certain circumstances. What do you need in order to get your desired results, to get your desires, to manifest the life that you want? I really feel like this adaptability card with this goddess Ain here, it really just talks about, is asking you, what do you want? What do you want out of life? How do you want to do it? What needs to be done? Trying to figure out what needs to be done in order to gain the life that you want. It's all about adaptability. It's all about being able to adapt and change and being okay with change. If there's one constant in life, is change. things are always changing. Things are always moving around. There are lots of moving parts to different things. So the one thing that we can count on is change. And this card is asking you, how can you adapt to that change? What can you do to kind of flow with the change and get the life that you want? And Queen Esther talks about divine timing. You know, she says, my soul is my ego is in service of my soul. So that means that, you know, her ego and her soul are kind of integrated. You know what I mean? She's gotten to a point where she has control of her ego, and and has kind of transcended her ego and integrated the parts of her ego that she needed to with her soul, and has complete control. That's how she became a queen. So when you do that, when you're able to have control of your ego and kind of leave behind the parts of your ego that don't serve you, but integrate the parts that do serve you, you're following your path, your soul's purpose. And then everything comes in divine timing, and you realize that once you can control your emotions and control your ego, everything then else falls right into place, hence it being divine timing. So both of these goddesses, Queen Esther and the goddess Ain here, are really both strong divine feminine energies, whereas they're very emotionally intelligent, okay? They are about, that classic divine feminine energy, adaptability, divine timing, intuition, following your soul's purpose, going with the ebbs and the flows of life, and just, flowing with it. So this is, if you picked pile number 1, and these goddesses these were the 2 goddesses and they really resonate with you, these are you should do more research on these particular goddesses and find out more information about them. That's what I would suggest. Okay, so if you picked pile number 2 with the green aventurine crystal right here, this message is for you. Okay, so we have Spider Woman co-creation, and we have the goddess Freya. She is the goddess of discernment. She says, I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it is a holy hell yes. Okay, so Freya is no joke, all right? And the reason why we're going to talk about her first, okay? The reason why she is the goddess of discernment is because she spends her time wisely. She is all about knowing when to say yes, and also knowing when to say no, okay? All right, she knows how to set boundaries. She knows what she wants. She knows what she doesn't want. And I feel like pile number 2, that is a message for you, as well as really knowing how to set boundaries right now, and having more discernment, and only saying yes when it is a oh hell yes, only when it lights you up, only when it's that what you're saying yes to will light you up and will be for your highest good as well as others. Okay, so the goddess Freya, the goddess of discernment, always knows when to say yes and when to say no, set her boundaries. She has a high level of self-love for herself, and you have to have that high level of self-love when you practice, your discernment, because you're not out here people pleasing. You know, Goddess Freya is not a people pleaser. Although she is not selfish, you don't become a goddess at goddess level and be selfish. You know, you have that innate love within you, but at the same time, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to set boundaries. And I really feel like that's a message that's coming through for those of you who picked pile number 2, is remember to set those boundaries and remember your discernment. Remember when to say no and know that it's okay. Don't have any guilt when you say no, okay? So, Spider Woman, co-creation. She represents co-creation. She is a Navajo goddess, okay? And I see, looking at her, I can see a lot of strength, okay? And I can see a lot of fire, a lot of creation, a lot of goddess energy. And this card really is reminding you, pile number 2 as well, along with your discernment, along with your boundary setting, know that you are the co-creator. You are co-creating with your team. You are co-creating with God, okay? And you're here for a higher purpose. You're here to create the life that you signed up for, okay? And a lot of us tend to forget that. You know, a lot of us tend to feel like, you know, at the mercy of whatever happens. And that's not the case. You know, our thoughts create our reality. We're here to create our desires, to manifest the things that we want, to do the work that we were sent here to do. And we're here to co-create that. And the Spider Woman is here to remind us of that, okay? We are co-creators, okay? So there has to be work that needs to be done. There is work that needs to be done. Just don't wait for things to fall in your lap. You have to get up off your ass and create as well, okay? Because once you put in that effort, you take the first step, then the universe will follow. You know what I mean? Then your angels and your guides and your team will follow. Once you start taking those steps, once you start planting the seeds, then everything else will follow. But you have to take the first steps and plant those seeds and be that co-creator that you came here to be. All right? So those were the messages for pile number 2. That was a really strong one. So if you chose pile number 3, and that was with the rose quartz, the heart-shaped rose quartz here, this message is for you. Oh, so we have Mama Ocha. Okay, she represents water. And we have Parvati, the goddess of devotion. And Parvati says, I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. And I think that's a really beautiful, beautiful message here from Parvati. She is the goddess of devotion. She is devoted to her people, when she loves something or loves someone, she doesn't leave. She is very, very devoted. And I feel like pile number 3, she is here, you know, reminding you that everything is love. And once you commit yourself to come from your heart at all time, lead with love at all time, you can't go wrong when you do that. And she is here, you know, to remind you of that. You know, be devoted to that sentiment. Be devoted to coming from your heart at all times. And be devoted to yourself. And when I say that too, devotion, be devoted to loving yourself, okay? And coming from a place of love when you're dealing with people, and things in your life and situations in your life. Come from a place of love and be devoted to that. Now, whoa, Mama, I don't know how to pronounce that. I think that's a Q in front of it. Quocha. Mama Ocha. Okay, but she is of water. And water is very fluid. It flows. It comes from the sky. It's on the earth. And it flows wherever it wants to flow. It can be beautiful. It can be destructive. It's part of nature. Okay, and I feel like this pile number 3 is that this, the goddess of devotion, a water goddess here, Mama Ocha. There is a lot of emotion coming from these cards, a lot of love, a lot of emotion, a lot of intuition, a lot of heart chakra energy, and Mama Ocha, she's looking like, she's the mother of the sea, and she's telling you to go with the flow, go with the ebbs and the flows of life. If the water decides to go this way in your life, then go that way. And if it's not something that is for your highest good, then that's fine. Like I said before, life has its ebbs and its flows. And sometimes the ebbs are thrown in, kind of as your protection, where you just stand there and wait. And then when it starts flowing again, then you flow. And I feel like this water goddess here, Mama Ocha, is really talking about going with the flow, going with the ebbs and flows of life, and being devoted to, being devoted to coming from a heart space, coming from your heart space, always moving with love, going with the flow, the ebbs and flows of life, but also moving with love and being devoted to that, if that makes sense to you. So again, Parvati, if you want to do research on that goddess, even more research, feel free, pile number 3, and also Mama Ocha. Okay, and if you want to do more research on that goddess for yourself, feel free to do so. Okay, so that is the reading for today. Who are your goddesses within? Piles number 1, 2, and 3. Thank you for watching. And before I go, please subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know which pile you resonated with. And share the video. Go ahead and feel free to share this video on your social media timelines if you feel called to. No pressure, but I definitely would love it if you subscribe to my channel and liked this video. So I'll be back again with more videos. I will be doing, I believe I'll be recording another a weekly intuitive collective reading. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Take care.